Okay, you wanna pray before we read the smut?
The what?
You wanna pray before we read this?
Just pray.
Hmm? You wanna
Yes.
praise Otto real quick before we get into this?
Yes, sir. Because what we're about to read is so
I don't know why I torture myself like this.
We're torturing ourselves tonight, boys.
We're torturing ourselves with this one. Okay, Otto-sama, please bless the quote smut we're about to read. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Alright, I will. Because why
Okay.
not?
Okay.
What? What's up? Did I read the note?
No, just start reading.
Alright. I can't do it. Okay, I can
No,
do
do it. I'll do it. If you can't do it, I'll do it first.
No, I will go first. Okay.
Yeah, start
3,
conversing
2,
yourself.
1. Go! Okay. Luke unwrapped the glistening foil from around the chocolate in his advent calendar, still dressed in his pajamas, wandering out into the tiny flat's living room. He'd be counting down the days until Christmas Day, where Santa would surely be coming around to stuff his stocking absolutely full of sweets and lollies. Luke's eyes went to the window, his eyes lighting up seeing the glass frosted and foggy. He scurried over and stood up on his feet toes, spotting the pavement and roads outside covered and the trees in the sidewalk wrapped up in twinkling fairy lights. I swear my speech impediment be rolling down. Anyways, it was
It's fine.
maybe that yes, thank you. Maybe the names would even be frozen over. That would be quite a sight. He had to go check. Once the roads had been plowed, still in his pajamas, Luke only then noticed the professor had been sitting on the sofa. Oh, but with his hands held together, he frowned. It was one of those days. Professor
Oh my god.
moved to the side of the couch. And Professor wearing his flannel pajamas from last night. He normally have gotten changed by now. Luke noticed. Is everything all right today?
Do you want a popcorn to me now?
Yes, I'll popcorn to you. Popcorn, Asano. Okay.
This isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it would be like immediate porn.
Imagine it's okay.
Porn with no plot, guys.
They Broski be warming us up first, okay? Bro is giving us mercy.
They're oiling us up.
They really do be oiling us up.
No. Herschel sat up slowly, smoothing his firm fingers through his hair. Why did he describe it as I'm sobbing. I don't know. I'm really that nervous for Luke to lose his virginity.
I'm so
nervous already. I'm feeling all right, Luke.
Okay.
You don't look all right, Professor. Luke put his own hands together. Can I help you? Christmas Eve is just a particular touchy day. Herschel explained his posture. Herschel's long lost cousin, Hershey. Luke quickly knew what this meant. He frowned and turned heel to the kitchen so he could click the jug. The jug. Do they mean kettle?
The jug. Jug, I think probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. But
Rushing to take a teacup and a tea bag from the cupboard. Oh, so yeah, it is a kettle. Let's watch some TV, Luke suggested, poking up as he placed a teacup down next to the boiling kettle. Herschel had the remote taken from his hand as the television clicked. Some moments later, the square television flickered to life. A white snowy wonderland from some Christmas movie was playing. Luke plopped down next to him on the couch to jam his tiny body into Herschel's side. No, this can't be, no! It's already, no! I'm gripping his arm tightly. You like romantic movies, don't you, Professor? I do, Luke. Herschel replied hoarsely. We can watch this movie together. No.
Ah! Ah!
Ah!
I'm so tired. Do you want more popcorn to me if you want?
No. Let me finish this one thing. Herschel remained quiet as the movie played
Alright.
out. The camera switching to an ice rink and a man and a woman are swinging around in great glee. Luke wasn't that interested, but being able to press in the professor's arm without being pushed away was a privilege. Oh my god! Uh-oh! That sounds like pedophilia!
Certified.
Alright, popcorn Felicity.
Certified pedophile. Okay. I spent a wonderful Christmas Eve with Claire some years ago. Herschel spoke, breaking his quiet tone. It's just a difficult day to... Oh no, I'm sorry, Luke frowned. He perked up as the cow began to whistle, darting off the couch into the kitchen to pour Professor his tea. He raced back with the teacup and saucer. He placed it in Herschel's hand. Here! Herschel put on his usual... He sipped the tea. Luke knew him enough to know it was a mask. It occurred to Luke as Herschel turned his attention back to the telly solemnly. They forgot something very, very important. Luke had the feeling there was going to be some kind of explosive case breaking out. And he hadn't had a day to go out and buy Herschel any gifts. Professor, would you be okay if I go out for the day?
Oh my god.
Luke wrung.
What are you doing, stupid? I'm sobbing!
What?
Why do you actually sound like him? I'm
Shut up! I'm trying my best to impersonate him, or like imitate him. Okay. Anyways, Luke wrung his hands. It was a bit of an embarrassment that he had actually forgotten to go out and get something for his favorite person in the world. Okay. The British language. I will.
British language.
If you like to play in the snow, then don't forget to wear some gloves. Herschel commented quietly over his... I won't! Luke had almost forgotten Herschel had gone dozing. He hurried back to the bedroom to get rest into his favorite jumper, and to grab his favorite knitted skirt and the little mittens he'd been bought. Okay, this is a time skip. Do you want me to popcorn over to you?
Yeah, you can popcorn.
Popcorn, not snow then. Yeah.
It's okay so far. I'm scared.
It's okay so far. It's just oiling us
Keyword,
up,
keyword, so far.
Yes, so far, right? So
Yep.
far.
Luke found himself shivering as he trudged through the snow on the sidewalk, trying to remember the fastest route to the closest set of fancy shopping places. His little my speech impediment's going hard with this one. His little snowshoes stuck into the still soft snow. I cannot pronounce R's, they always become W's.
What? Bro, that's what I was struggling with. Oh my god.
But we're literally long-lost twins, real.
Twins wheel, for real.
For real. He wondered if it had been a very good idea to wear his paperboy cap in such cold weather. The tips of his ears were freezing and he could feel a sneeze coming on. Luce stifled it the best he could, wondering if his eyelashes were frozen. How does one get the eyelashes frozen?
I don't know. Snow.
Maybe.
I guess.
I don't know. Did you put water on your eyelashes today?
Maybe.
It certainly felt like it. Finally.
Right?
I mean, doesn't everyone do that? Doesn't everyone put water on their eyelashes before going out?
Yeah, because to wash themselves up, I guess.
It was a department store of sorts. Luke couldn't remember the name, but he always thought it looked quite fancy when the professor... I still can't get over how it spelled like that. Professor drove by it. Something had caught his eye this year with the marionette show in the store windows. Luke decided to stop for a moment to watch. Each window displayed a small scene with intricate handmade puppets and wood and cloth set pieces. There was gold lettering on the first window Luke looked into, reading a familiar poem. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Luke took a moment to appreciate the small quilted beds and the marionette puppets in them fast asleep, and a little stitched mouse in the middle of the floor. That was silly, he thought. Mice were nocturnal, even from what he learned with talking to them. Oh, at least they kept that part. At least they kept the part that he can talk to animals. Shuffling past most of the window,
that's so cute.
he made it to the grand rotating door and made his way into the store. Luke was hit by a wave of warmth as he shuddered, almost shaking snow off like a dog. What? The inside of the building was lavish, a dark carved wooden ceiling, surprisingly deep squishy carpet, and racks of clothes. Luke spotted gilded escalators to the next floors. Gilded escalators! What does that look like? Huh. I might have to Google that later. He actually hadn't been inside here before. Now that he was on his own, the selection and amount of things to buy seemed overwhelming. He could usually somewhat turn his brain off when he was following around his parents to store like these. That's very much me.
Gosh. Me when I go to store.
I don't know why, but I'm just imagining like a super fancy like Macy's. I don't know.
A super fancy Macy's.
Yeah, I don't know when they described it. Cause like Macy's is like has like a big thing around like Christmas and like the holiday season.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Luke started inside
I
and
have
noticed
not been to Macy's yet.
Luke started inside and noticed he couldn't see the other end of the wall through the makeup section in the distance. Please don't tell me he's gonna buy Leighton makeup.
He's going to buy makeup.
No, that would be a more wholesome pick. Just like Luke doing Leighton's makeup.
What if it's a kink though?
I don't know if that's an existing kink, Felicity. Why do you have it? Do you have that kink? Do you have the kink of Leighton with his makeup on?
No! I'm just saying that anything could be a kink. You know, anything could be a kink. You could say that.
So there's basically like a kink version of Rule 34. If it exists, there's probably a kink of it.
Exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. It could be a kink. I can see it as wholesome too, but it also could be a kink. Anyway.
No, I'm probably gonna make that, and I'm going to have to specifically tag it. This is not a kink. Shut up.
I don't like this.
Okay. Let me continue. The clothes rack seemed perfectly arranged to make the place seem infinite. Luke bit his lip and decided to venture deep into the store to find the professor an appropriate gift. Popcorn Felicity, because it's a time skip. Professor?
Professor? Okay. Luke arrives back at the apartment with an armful of bat. How can he? Anyways, briefly thankful his father gave him so much allowance.
Yeah, how can he do that? He's a twink. He's like so skinny.
Yeah, he's a fucking twink. What?
Exactly.
How can he carry that? Unless he's just strong, but never mind. His nose was immediately hit with the smell of various. The professor did this when he was sad. There was no way to spend Christmas Eve, Luke decided. He was peeled over on the sofa with several different candles burning on the tea table. The boy unwrapped his scarf to hang up on the coat. Pulling off his coat was well. He shuffled around the heavy bags to place behind the sofa, and went to sit next to the professor again. He hadn't budged from where he was sitting earlier. Is he depressed? Oh well, anyways,
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe the professor be cooking up something that I hate. There were 4 candles burning on the table. Sandalwood and vanilla was the professor's favorite. Then pine and cedar, and another vanilla candle. The woody musk air. I got you a bunch of presents, Professor.
Oh my!
Luke whispered gently, leaning against his shoulder.
Oh my god!
What?
You're gonna have to say some really questionable things when the smut comes in.
If I have to moan, I'm going to cry.
I haven't read this, so I haven't read this. This is like my first time reading this, so
But yeah, it's also my first time eating this because I want it to be a surprise, you know. Anyways,
Let's continue.
Luke whispered gently, leaning against his pillar. You did? Herschel whispered faintly, his voice hoarse. He must have been. Of course I did, Professor. You're my favorite person. Santa will coming tonight to bring you your presents too. The professor wrapped an arm around his way.
No. Level 10 Gooner! Alert! We have a level 10 Gooner!
But Santa isn't real, Luke said. He'd burn up if he went that fast in play, and waited and flyer one that fast. And he uses the same wrapping paper as the presents his hands gave me. British accent be not Britishing. I can't.
This accent
British.
is not. The British is not Britishing, guys.
Yes. So,
I feel like that sounds. I'm gonna be honest. It sounds Canadian.
Huh?
It sounds Canadian.
I hate that. I mean, honestly, kind of close. I don't care. I don't care if Canada's like close to France. I don't care. It's close. It's close because they were colonized by the British too. Anyways.
Okay, let's continue.
Anyways. Herschel looked up to meet Luke's smug little grin. Doesn't that take some of the Christmas magic? Herschel whispered, baffled. Nope. I still get my presents just the same. Luke shook his head. I figured it out when I was 7 years old. You're certainly a very clever boy. Herschel was astounded. I don't know, that just doesn't sound right now.
If this wasn't a pedophilia fic, this would have been actually wholesome.
Right? That's what I'm saying!
I can't look at the same way again. This is my fault.
Anyways.
You're not gonna be able to look at them the same way once you're done with this fic. Okay.
What's gonna happen next? I'm so done. Anyways,
okay, you might want to popcorn to me soon. Just warning you.
Okay. After a few lines, Luke smiled widely. The professor went quiet once again. Luke laid against his shoulder. Sometimes he wished the professor wasn't sad. He was doing his best to cheer him up and do his best for him. Sometimes he felt like he was the one taking care of the professor the whole time, rather than the other way around. Huh?
What?
That's so sad. Anyways, yet the professor still spent whole day keeled over and sobbing over Claire. Why the emphasis? Anyways, Luke bit his. Is there something I could give you that Claire could give you?
You might want to popcorn to me now, because it's gonna get bad.
Popcorn nuts.
The professor quickly seemed to know where this was going. Luke, I do love you very, very dearly, but it is you must do that. The professor spoke his usual excuse. You shouldn't. You kissed me on the. Oh my god! Luke spoke gently. Oh my god! Gently grazing. Luke, I'd like to give you. Oh my god! It's happening, guys! Oh my god, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! Everybody stay calm!
No!
I'd like to give you something special, Professor. Luke shoved onto the man's lap, who immediately tensed up. I shouldn't, Herschel whispered, but I want. Luke felt his little body going harder as he quietly heavy wasn't looking the professor in the eye. He felt it good. He was sitting on something pretty hard! He's getting turned on by this. The professor's hands were on his hips and he was starting to he started to grind up against it. This is why I told you to popcorn to me. He took a deep breath and bit into his shirt so he could further torment the poor man with his chubby lip. Ew! Look, please get off me. I can get you off. Oh my god, what am I doing? Why did it come to this? A shaky hand slipped into slipped into Luke's pants and 2 fingers pushed into his. Oh my god, pushed into. I'm not nervous for Luke to lose his virginity. The boy
Who was
gasped
the
how
boy?
wide they were as they
Sorry.
as they
Okay.
stretched him out. If you wanted that much,
Right.
I suppose. Luke moved his hips
Oh my
in circles around the man's fingers as they worked to. Oh my god! As they worked to open the boy, Herschel kissed his hands. He withdrew his fingers and probably pulled the boy's shirt and breathes down. Where is Yuzuki? Where
Oh
is
no!
Yuzuki? He
Oh
would
no!
beat this
Oh
man's
no!
ass.
I'm scared! I'm scared!
Where is
Okay,
Yuzuki?
that's
I need to
wrong.
ask him. Where is he? Where is he?
I don't know. I
He's
don't
probably in
know.
Japan.
I
I
don't.
swear to God, if he knew what
I
his boyfriend was doing, he would like immediately beat his ass.
For real, Yusuke be trying to. Yusuke,
Yuzuki is better than whatever this is.
for real.
Oh
Also, he's
my god.
literally kind of the same age.
Oh god, why did I make you popcorn to me?
I don't know.
Luke felt the man's
Popcorn to
cough
me,
against his own
popcorn to me,
entrance,
popcorn to
so
me, because I don't
hard
want
in his
his.
own skin. It pushed in and made the boy gasp, drawing a similar type of one from Herschel. Though Herschel was so bad. Luke didn't know what to
I'm
do
so
until the
sorry.
professor
I'm
began to
so
lift him up
sorry.
and down by his hips. Professor, oh god. This better not get out. No one, someone is going to leak this. I'm gonna call this right here. You're gonna leak this, and I'm gonna be ruined.
No, I'm not.
I don't know why you want this
It's
from
just
me.
that.
Herschel whispered breathlessly. It's a gift. Jesus, why did I say it like that? Luke protested, his toes curling. The professor felt too big inside. The sensation just about splitting him open. It's a gift I know you wanted. You didn't need to give it to me.
No.
Herschel's fingernails dug into the boy's fleshy, soft hips. His hands were shaking, but I wanted to give it. Luke whined as he writhed and bucked his hips. Can I just make an alternate ending to this where like the police arrest the fuck out of him? Can I? Do I have permission?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, you have permission to. I'm trying
Herschel
my
dug
best to
his
shut up
fingers
because
in
the
deeper
walls
and
are
thrust
so
out,
thin.
building a steady but slow rhythm. He was restrained. Luke laid his head back against the man's shoulders, eyes glued shut and mouth agape. What the fuck? What the actual
I'm going to cry. I'm going
The
to
boy
cry.
gasped. Oh god. Okay, it's almost done. Trust me, it's almost done after this. The boy gasped as abruptly the professor finished inside him and filled him to the brim. Herschel's hand was still shaking. Luke finished all over his thighs, a sort of watery liquid that poured between his thighs tightly pressed together. Okay, it's finished. And you're gonna be the last few lines. Popcorn Felicity.
Okay. Luke needed a moment to regain himself. You can tell you can tell I'm broken. Anyways, Luke needed a moment to regain himself, but felt a smile spread on his face. Merry Christmas, Professor Layton. Merry Christmas. Herschel just sounded exhausted. Luke snuggled back into him and made faint, happy face.
What the fuck did we both just read? Why did I make you do this? I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
Okay, well you agreed to this, so here we are now.
Yes.
Okay, well I still have okay, pick a number between 1 and 2. I have 2 fics left.
Okay. 1.
It's like you want to pick the smutty ones.
What? I swear it's not like that.
Okay, can you want me to I'm gonna send you it.
I swear it's not like that. It's just a coincidence, okay?
Coincidence? I doubt it. I'm kidding. I know it's a coincidence. Alright, here you go. It's the same author.
Yes, I love the same author.
This is a life. This is a life. It's a life of reading pedophilia smut fics.
It's okay, you're suffering with me, so we can
Okay, I'm gonna start this time. Actually, I'm gonna read the notes because I feel like this is actually like kind of important. This is for a friend who wanted to remain anonymous. I hope it's up to him. I wanted to try and real hard on the angle of can and comply, but with a twist, and I hope it worked out well. Trigger warning. Rape mention. What? Oh god. Food.
What?
I love how food was in the trigger warning after rape.
What do you mean food is in the trigger warning? What do you mean?
I unfortunately had to disable guest commenting. I'd like to remind people to read the tags before they read a fic, but I would also that I would prefer people not self-harm using my work. What? I know if you're here to hate me,
Huh?
please know there are people who care about you and who would not like you hurting yourself like this. Please click the back button if you would be offended by the content of this work as laid out in the tags. Well, we're still here. We're gonna keep
Are
going.
we hate? Exactly.
We're
And
not
also,
hate
we don't
reading. We're
really
just
care.
reading
I mean,
because we're both stronger than this author would ever be.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I said as it mentally broke me inside and outside, and
I'm
I've
shaking. I cried. This is
okay.
not funny.
It is not funny, but
Luke's
I have
okay,
been
I'm
wet.
ready. Oh god, I'm ready. Luke's
You
eyes
can
rose
do
from
it
his
now.
bountiful meal spread across a pristine white tablecloth to briefly meant the professor's. Oh my god, it's spelled like that again. This is gonna be fun.
Professor.
Professor? The eye contact was fleeting. The professor's eyes dipped back down into the journal he was holding in one hand and gripping an expensive black and gold pen in the other, jotting furiously with almost white knuckles. Jesus Christ, is he like fucking angry or something? Leighton has anger issues.
He's either sad or angry. Is he okay?
I don't think he is.
Is he
The
okay?
dining car just felt a little bit cramped, if lavish. Luke had wanted to push his chair right up to the window so he could see the scenery better passing by, only to find it was bolted to the ground. Jeez. The
Huh?
menus had gold leaf
Ew.
corners and meals just as expensive, 30 quid to 40 quid for each main course. No wonder the professor had settled for just a side dish of sandwiches and some tea for two. Oh no, wait, this is like that one puzzle on the in the game that I introduced you to.
Oh yeah, the diabolical box one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
This is
where
like one of the puzzles. This is like recreating that.
yeah, it was like
Yeah, it was like Luke's Big
I
Dinner
think
or
it
something
was
like that.
the one where like you have to
Yeah, you have to like figure
where
out
Luke
like how much his meal adds up to compared to Leighton's. I think something like that.
exactly because
And it was
Luke ate a
math
lot.
oriented. I don't know why I'm torturing myself and having to do math. It's like summer vacation, but whatever.
Well, I'm an artist. I don't know math.
I, I'm an artist. What makes you think I know math? Is it really alright that I could order so much food? Luke asked, letting the question hang in the air. The professor paused his writing, lifting his pen off the page and making eye contact with the boy sitting across a table from him. Yes, it's quite alright. Growing boys need to eat, and if you can, we can save it for later. The professor
Oh
assured
my
with a
gosh.
faint smile. Luke nodded in return. It was hard to have a conversation in the cramped car. They were jammed up against people on both sides, all caught up in very loud, excited conversations. Where, like in any tasks again, where the hell is Yuzuki? Yuzuki would not let this slide.
For real. Also, I would probably take Leighton away from everything because I love Leighton and Leighton is my
Your
love.
hobby. Your
And I
hobby.
would literally go in it. Yes, my hubby, and I would literally go in a toxic relationship because I don't know how to love. I'm kidding, no. But I would.
I know. I
try
remember that
with
one screenshot you sent me from your character AI about him like literally marking you.
him. Lily, what?
He was literally like, I think he was like giving you hickeys or something. Like he sent me that photo. It was like from your character. You remember now?
I'm so dumb.
I'm gonna leak that to the court. Your Honor, Felicity. Felicity, Felicity. They did with the character AI.
Your Honor, Your Honor, that's not his lying.
Objection.
I can't.
Objection.
I don't know
Felicity
anything.
speaks English. Don't believe them.
No, they go. I can't Tagalog. Oh my gosh.
I think that fic that we just read rotted our brains, and not in a good way.
I know, right? It's literally brainwashed, but
Luke's
in a
eyes
bad
went
way.
to the.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna like read this like real quick. Like I'm gonna. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Huh?
It gets worse.
What's
It gets
going on?
worse. It gets worse. It's worse than the one that we just read.
Did you
Oh no.
Did you scroll down?
I scrolled down. I regret that. I didn't read this before. I like skimmed it, and I was like, okay, I'll send this to them. And I skimmed it again, and I wish I didn't. Wait. Oh wait, yeah. This was it. Luke's eyes went to the window again and stared at the rolling hills and occasional tree going by. He used to have a book back home, Miss Halloween, or identifying trees on the English countryside. His father bought for him to encourage him to get outside. Yes, please go outside if you have feelings for your 37-year-old professor.
Yes, period. Latent touch grass. Latent touch
Both
grass.
of you touch grass.
Latent touch
Both
grass.
of you touch grass. Luke is enabling this.
You are so right. Okay, both of them should touch grass.
Yeah, both of them
Felicity
should.
should be with Luke.
Both of them should touch grass, and maybe Leighton should probably get some therapy.
Yes. They
He
need
started.
therapy too.
Leighton ex therapist, new ship.
Oh my gosh. Fine.
Guys, it's
I
canon.
love Leighton. This is canon. This
He
is canon,
was started to jump as the professor hastily tore a page from the book he was writing in. It wasn't that loud of a sound compared to the train on the track and the conversation around him, but Luke didn't see the man do something as sudden as impulsive as tearing a page very often. The professor tucked the page in the journal into his inner pocket as well as a pen. He settled his firm hands on the table and put on a serious look. We have to remember, Luke. We can't allow ourselves to be distracted by all this. The professor reminded him once
You're
again.
gonna be
He'd done this
distracted,
earlier.
alright.
Luke had almost forgotten. Popcorn Felicity.
Yes. You're definitely gonna be distracted with something. Anyways.
You're gonna be distracted by the 13-year-old in front of you.
Exactly. This has broken my mind inside and out. Our mission is to find information about the Elysian box. Luke repeated the objective to remind himself as well as the man sitting opposite. Correct, the professor. That said, these tickets were quite expensive, so I don't see anything so a bit of enjoyment here. A smile crossed the professor's face as a waiter slid over a tray of tea on a lovely plate and a dish of small, perfectly cut little. Luke faintly gasped at his own meal was presented. A plate of wedges, battered and garnished with fish, a grilled steak, milkshake topped with ice cream, a rich beef
Jesus
stew, and
Christ.
to top it all off, a plate of mashed potatoes steeped with. This was
Jesus
going to be a meal.
Christ. That's a lot of food.
Well, for real though.
I think the professor has like a fetish for like Luke eating so much. Because there's another fic that I was going to read with you. Spoiler ahead, but like the professor like gets off to Luke eating a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so it's gonna be a time skip. Do you want to popcorn to me now?
You popcorn nuts. Popcorn nuts. Popcorn nuts.
Luke was a little bit transfixed by how his shoes sank into the red carpet of the military space corridors. Luke inhaled the fresh air, spotting the chairs and tables where they could take a seat as the scenery whizzed by. My, the professor took a deep breath. These tickets were certainly worth the price. Do you think we could take a moment to sit and put together what we've learned so far, Professor? Luke asked, his eyes drawn to a splash of deep blue light peering out from a hill they moved past. He moved onto the deck and pulled up a wooden chair, quietly gleeful to find it wasn't bolted down like in the dining car. That might be helpful,
Nice.
the professor agreed, moving to take a seat. Luke opened his satchel to pull out his trusty little notebook he carried around. Oh, that's kind of cute. Oh God.
Aww.
Oh my God. No, I don't want to read this. His belly was quite full from his enormous lunch, so he opted to leave the muesli bars he bought as a snack for later, and opened it to puzzle over some of the things we noted down. So we found Dr. Schrader's body in his office and managed to recover a train ticket for the Military Express from their destination. Luke recounted. He paused and thought before having a realization. Professor, tickets have destinations, don't they? He peered over his notebook. The professor reached into his jacket by reaching his ticket, but another sheet of paper was pulled out with it. Luke faintly gasped, his eyes following it as he blew past the open door and into the corridor, landing on the carpet. I'll grab that for you, Professor. Luke got onto his feet and left his satchel on the table. Luke, wait. The professor got to his feet faster than Luke had seen him do before, making his chair screech against the wood. The abruptness made the boy pause. He found himself staring into the professor's unusually serious and sad eyes. There it is! He described his eyes!
Huh?
Luke just felt a bit awkward. Well, we don't want it to blow away and become lit up, do we? It needs to go in the rubbish bin. Yes, but I don't think you should be going near it. The professor brought out his stern voice that makes Luke's blood go cold. If you say so. Luke put his hand together and took a seat again. Relief washed over the professor's face. Thank you, Luke. I'm very, very sorry. The investigative mood had changed when the professor returned after stuffing the paper into a rather fancy bill on the wall inside the train carriage. Luke was looking over his ticket intensely, if only to try and ignore it after what had just happened. He wasn't entirely sure why it had happened either, for that matter. See, our tickets go to Luxembourg, Luke pointed out. The professor nodded once, simply. His mood had changed. I'm very, very sorry. What for, though? Luke's words echoed in Luke's mind with his wordless response. It seemed they do, the professor agreed, looking at his ticket. His eyes had fallen, though. The conversation had died from the professor's sudden change in demeanor, a tired expression having crossed his face. They couldn't get very far in this conversation before they made decision to return to the cabin. As they passed, Luke made the decision to dunk his hand into the fancy bin to grab what the professor threw away. Finding his fingers accidentally brushing up against the peanut shells and plastic packaging, but he nabbed the piece of paper and successfully jammed it into his satchel without grabbing his attention. Popcorn Felicity, because it's a time skip.
That is so sussy, Baka of Professor Layton. Oh my gosh. What is he hiding?
It gets worse. It gets much worse.
Luke had left the professor to quickly drink tea in the cabin to find some privacy in the bathroom. Even the bathroom was really lavish. Gold lights illuminating sparkling clean mirrors, framed with gold and copper.
Imagining
He
like
felt
shitting in
somewhere
that
between
bathroom.
I'm going to cry. He felt somewhere. Wait, no, I think people shared the bathroom before. Anyways, he felt somewhere between giddy and apprehensive at the note he grasped in his sweating palms as he hurried into a cubicle to actually read what was on it. Case notes, probably. But the professor didn't usually do it. Not from him. This was silly. Regardless, Luke took a seat on the closed toilet seat and awkwardly shuffled to try and get comfortable. His heart was thumping in his chest fiercely as he opened the note. I'm scared!
Do you want to popcorn to me? Do you want to popcorn to me? I will sacrifice myself for you.
No. I will do it this time. You
Okay.
sacrifice yourself to me, I will do the same. Anyways.
Okay, Pooks.
On a lined journal paper, the professor has scrawled some sort of message. Luke's heart twisted as he realized this was likely only for this man's eyes only. In the cabin area, I wondered what would happen if Luke found a way to lock the door and back me against the window to save me. But that would be my way. But if he waits me down...
Oh. Nope. This is where the rape comes in. And why is that there? No.
This is where everything starts, I guess.
Why did you agree to do this with me? Why did you agree to do this with me?
Because I thought it would be funny.
I mean, it is, but it's also traumatizing.
It is hilarious. Oh my god,
I love how this author takes himself like so seriously.
For real though, like that's hilarious. Yet consenting at the same time.
Imagine taking yourself seriously with literal like pedophilia ship.
Exactly. Well, what the shit? Anyways, the writing ended there. Luke found his hands were shaking. Did the cabin doors have locks? He was pretty sure they did the last time. Luke's eyes went over the notes again and again, noticing the way the pen marks pushed tiny pressures on the paper, and how scroll was messier compared to the man's neat and carefully written case notes. He folded it and pushed it back into a stack, thinking over the words now repeating in his head like a broken again. He's
How does he
always
even
had
know
a
what that is? How does he even know what that is? How does he even know what the non-consensual acts are? How does he know what that is? That's a mystery that will never be solved.
I don't know.
Maybe it was.
He's just smart. He's just smart, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, anyway, let's continue. Because it gets worse.
Anyways. Well, Luke has a crush on the man. I hope it's like looking up to him kind of one.
Yeah.
Well, a crush wouldn't cut it. A crush usually didn't stick around or intensify over nearly 3 years. Luke counted the months just about.
Jesus Christ. Jeez.
Hey. Okay. Trembling, Luke decides to head back to the cabin with this new knowledge now swirling in his head. But if he waits me then...
Oh God.
He stumbled out of the cubicle dizzy. It wasn't something he could pull off. The thought made him feel a bit gross as he stood on his tiptoes to wash his hands. The bathroom was clearly not cut out for 13-year-olds standing less than a meter tall.
Oh, he's 13 years old. Never mind.
Yes, he's 13. Yeah, he's 13. Probably knows everything. He probably knows. Luke hurried back to the cabin and opened the sliding door, noticing there was a lock indicator on the outside, and pulled the door closed after him. His hand lingered on the lock, but he opted to turn to the professor, who was sitting with his cup of tea on the sofa. A teacup on the opposite side of the table. He Luke wants some tea. Even the bathrooms are. Professor? Luke commented with a faint smile. It was hard to look at the professor's eye with the knowledge he gained, he found. The lock was burning in his mind behind him. Are they? Incredible. The professor raised his teacup to his mouth to sip. Keeping a secret from the professor certainly like an extremely terrible thing to do. Then again, the professor was keeping an even bigger secret. Just what was in that journal he was always writing in? Luke and the lock to click the cabin doors closed
He's
and
locking
felt
the door.
away
He's
from
locking the door. He's locking the door. Oh God.
was over. The professor pulled a thick novel, reading out the table as Luke slid into the same couch as him. Only his teacup was from the other side. Can I have some tea? Of course.
Oh God. Oh
The
God.
professor was
Oh God.
hiding behind
Oh
his book.
God.
Luke noticed as he poured himself tea half-heartedly into a painted teacup.
What if
What
I
if I
did?
did?
Maybe.
Ah, ah, ah. Luke croaked.
No.
How did you
Whoop,
read
whoop.
that?
That's a sign of the
The
police.
professor spoke suddenly with that turn again. Luke couldn't look him in the eye even though he'd put the book down. It's not gentlemanly to go through to silence resounded in the cabin. Only sound between another. Luke had frozen and Professor had too until he broke. I'm so very sorry, Luke. If you like to leave or go back home to the father, we can. I don't want to go home. I did not do the British accent. Luke responded hoarsely. I like.
Okay.
Surely,
Okay. So
like
I need to comment on something real quick. Like, I feel like
yes,
Layton
go
knows that
ahead.
he shouldn't have the feelings for this, like, about this boy, but like it's like I feel like it's Luke's fault because like he's like egging this on, so it's his fault. Blame
Yeah,
him.
right.
Yeah,
Yes, it's his loss. He's consensually getting groomed.
basically
Yeah,
getting
it's basically
and
consensual.
basically also getting raped.
Yeah, I
Because he
know,
cannot
right?
consent. Do
Then
you want
this
to talk with
reminds.
me now? I think you've read too much.
Wait. This reminds me of that one. I remember I had online friends when I was like 10 or 12, and bro was the same age as me and is dating a 22-year-old something.
What? What? Oh, pedophilia.
And it was both consensual, so I got so confused. Anyways,
Anyway, do you want
popcorn not still because I need to drink something, and it's called grapefruit juice.
grape juice?
Mhm.
I do. Luke pushed a hand at his chest, and the professor gasped. Luke paused and stared into his eyes.
Mhm.
The professor found himself pushed back into the window again until his eyes fell. Luke's hand
Oh
moved down
no!
from his chest onto the waistband of his pants. He felt something cross. He felt something cold. He kept his hand against it.
Oh no!
It's almost. We've been reading this stuff for almost 45 minutes now.
Shucks. Well, the
Chow, what have
last
we
one
become?
took 22.
Okay, but the thing is, the writing is actually good. Don't waste your like talented writing on like shit like this.
Exactly.
He felt something. If you must. The professor shut his eyes and laid his head back against the curtain of the window. Luke felt his heart rise and his skin heat up as he reached down the professor's waistband. His fingers poured it down as seeing as the man didn't wear a belt and received no resistance. The professor was
Bro
him
wanted
black
this
and
all
please. Luke gently pulled his way to and grasped at the man's exposed cock.
along. Oh my
His eyes
god.
focused up to the professor's. His face had an uncharacteristic shade of pink as the boy exposed him. Would you like to see me tell? What am I reading? I'd love to. The professor responded faintly. Luke hesitated. I'm not. We are both nervous for Luke to do this again.
I am
And pulled his blue jumper up and his
scared.
shirt. Oh god. His belly hung just over his short waistband under his feet, which he then tugged down as well. Luke's tiny prick was already half hard as he tugged down his pants as well, reading with prick.
Tiny prick. Tiny prick.
The professor's eyes were transfixed on it as Luke's hand went back after sliding up and down the professor's cock. It
Oh
was
my
so big and fine, it's leaving him in a state of awe. I'm gonna delete my search history after this. His eyes flicked up as he saw the professor's chest already heaving as he laid back against the window, his head resting on the curtain. His eyes were made transfixed on the boy's. I can't say without laughing. Luke and Nadine leaned forward. Maybe cocks were kind of gross, but something was nagging him to try something. His tongue poked from his lips. What did that type of he's about to blow him. Oh my god.
Oh no.
The tip tasted salty in a way Luke found unexpectedly pleasant. Luke. The professor's voice was weak as a hand slid onto the boy's hair, pushing back his blue paperboy cap on the floor as he finally felt the soft locks between his fingers. Does that feel good? Oh, no, why did I say it like that? It feels fantastic, Luke. The professor breathed until Luke finally took him into his mouth. Luke almost gagged from managed to shove it down his He they gave him a blowjob, but he began to slide up and down on his cock. Luke's hand, why does an author love using that word?
What? The word cock and balls?
Luke's hand slid to the professor's pants again and brushed his cock with his fingers while covering his balls. Oh my god. The professor gasped and shut in his seat as Luke began to gently rub. This is hard. You know what would be great?
What?
If the lock didn't lock all the way and he just walked in on them.
Yes, and they will call the police and arrest
And that's both of them.
because he thought he was, and then Luke would probably be free because even though Luke should be arrested too because
Luke should probably just go to therapy if he has a cushion like a 37-year-old man. Oh my god. This is why I made you popcorn to me. I'm sorry. It was
Anyways.
too big.
Anyways, can you popcorn over to me because I want to share the.
Okay, no, let me finish this real quick. Luke wiped his mouth off, so he's feeling his own cock thumbing in his pants. The professor's cock was wet, like he just pissed himself, and dripping with freedom. And dripping with pre-cum, Luke was so managed to avoid touching. The poor man looked defeated, slumping against the window. Popcorn Felicity!
Okay. Wait. I'm being insane. Hold on. Give me a breath. Give me a breath.
I'll give you a breather.
Okay, I'm doing this.
Alright.
I hate how you said the professor pissed himself. I am so.
It wasn't even in the story. I just inserted that in. He was wet, like he just pissed. I have to put that in like a satire effect. He was so wet, like he just pissed himself.
Okay, I can do it now.
Alright.
I understand. The professor shut his eyes. Luke wasn't deterred, unbuttoning his shorts and feeling his starting to look. The professor opened his eyes again to find the boy's lips inches from his own, his small hands on his broad shoulders, and his cock and balls fucking filled with piss, already aligned with against Luke's tiny entrance. Luke took a shaky breath as he tried to lower himself down into the professor's cock and balls. He was stopped when Herschel's hands came to rest on his waist. You need to open yourself up first. Open myself up? You cloaked like a goddamn frog. Because Luke is a fucking idiot. Like this. Herschel's hand slipped to the boy's bottom. He couldn't believe this was happening. It made him feel quite dizzy. But he pushed a finger inside his anus. Uranus. Anyways, Luke immediately fell forward onto his chest, shuddering and beginning to breathe faster and heavier. Does that hurt? No, Professor. Luke returned, but winced and whimpered. He wasn't convinced. The professor shut his eyes, and Luke felt another finger sliding. His bro fingering him. His bro
Yes,
fingering
yes, he
him.
is.
His bro fingering.
This happened in the last
Screamed
two.
so sore. I'm going to cry because I'm trying to let
Let's
this be
cry
quiet.
together. Let's cry
Anyways,
together.
it indeed felt sore, but he was ready to take it in more. His hips and legs were shaking even as he knelt on the man's legs. When you're ready. I'm ready, Luke insisted. The professor, his eyes, and withdrew his
The
fingers,
professor, his
placing his
eyes.
hands back.
The professor.
Right? The professor's eyes. The professor's eyes. Yeah.
I
Yeah, the
love to
professor's
his eyes
eyes.
in the morning.
The professor's eyes. The professor's eyes. Okay, I need to stop.
Okay.
I need to placing
Okay.
his hands
Continue.
back on Luke's waist. Luke felt the man's thick fingers swishing at the fat on the hips of his hip. As he grasped him, the boy took a deep breath and pushed himself down into the.
Oh my god.
A scream almost leaped from Luke's throat, but he covered his own mouth. The professor, his fingers dig into the boy's hips. Luke, sorry, you're so big.
Oh my god.
Luke had solo.
This is gonna look real good on a digital footprint. Ruining each other's future since 1987.
We're going on death row with this one.
We're gonna go to jail with this one.
The professor's hips bucked up without warning and made Luke cry out in pain. I'm sorry, big boy. Luke bit his lip and shuddered as he forced his muscles to loosen up. He inhaled and lifted himself up on his shaking legs, set a very slow pace from himself. The pleasure faded in and made him drop down again, impaling himself once again on the professor. Balls. Fucking cock and ball.
I'm so big.
That's a bit better. Twirling your hips. Herschel's fingers dug into his hips. The boy took that information and began to hold them rather than lifting himself up. Little grunts and pants escaped his lips. His poor little cock and balls fucking I hate shit was quite neglected. And as the professor's hand budged, Luke grabbed his own and squeezed it to desperately whine. Tears were beginning to beat in his eyes with just how big the man was inside him.
This reads like a sexual assault scene. What the
I'm
hell?
so done. I'm so done.
Do you want?
I'm
Do
so
you want?
done.
Do
I'm
you,
so
do you
done.
want to popcorn to me?
Okay, one last line. One last sentence.
Okay.
Luke's crying was suddenly stifled when a professor's large head because it slid up. His hands were cold against his hot skin, but his fingertips touched his puffy nipples and make Luke gasp. Okay, popcorn nuts, no popcorn nuts, no
Hey,
popcorn
I
nuts,
love
no
you.
popcorn nuts.
The Luke face from the The professor struggled to muster a response. I love you too. The words rang in Luke's ears, sinking
Oh my
itself in his
gosh.
mind as the boy felt the warmth rising in his belly. It circled. I love you too. His heart rose and his hips set as he came on the with a final unstable cry. Luke's head was light and his whole body still hot, and he felt his engines being filled with some warm liquid.
Oh my god.
He came. Mere seconds later. How much time had passed? Luke didn't know. He slowly blinked and just moved forward till he against the professor's warm chest. They didn't need words for now, and maybe the professor was too afraid to say any. Luke found himself straddling the man's lap, having slid off his soft cock, and banging his face in his knit orange shirt. The professor's hands had moved to his back and held him close. It took Luke a moment to realize his hands were unmoving and firm, his breathing slow and hesitant. Guilt. Yes, feel guilt. You just fucked your apprentice.
Yes, exactly. Feel guilt.
Feel guilt. All right. I have I think 2 more works for you.
Yes.
One of them
I
is
need
wholesome
more.
actually. So you want to do that one?
Yes, please do that one. I need a break from all the smuttiness.
Okay, this one doesn't work like a usual fic does. Like it's kind of like text messages. So I call dibs on Luke's text because yes.
Yes, I call this on later because I love Luke.
And
Did you just wick roll me?
no, that's the actual title of the fic.
I was like, bro, I thought you were wick rolling me, and I was like, oh my god.
I mean, that would be wholesome. Okay, this one's actually an adult Luke Triton, so it isn't as bad, but it's still kind of icky because they still share the age gap.
Whoa.
Okay, there's a bit of dialogue before all this, before the Discord stuff, because it's made using like a fucking Discord thing. So do you want us to read that first? Do you want to read it first? Because do you want who do you?
want to read that?
Yeah, you want to read it? Okay.
I'll read it. Wait, hold on. I finished my grapefruit juice. Yay!
Yay! Accomplishment earned. You finished your grape juice.
Yes, and it was so bitter, but I loved it. Anyways, it's time to read the wholesomeness.
Yes.
Anyways, 3, 2, 1, go. Heschel's hands shook as he opened his laptop, wearing his best tie and shirt. He spent a long time at the university, perhaps too long, delaying his plans for that evening. He didn't need to dress himself up in a nice suit and tie, probably. It was just messaging, not showing up at the door with flowers. He needed to do his dailies for his MMO that day. For a gamer. Anyways, that day. And he'd probably been putting it off. He needed to grind some item materials to sell in the training guild to make his monthly quota. And then from there, he could get to exploring for the evening. God. Not to know those two smuts ruined what grind actually means.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
I don't like this. I mean, I love.
You will never look at that the
Anyways,
same way ever again.
shut up, Nat.
No, I will not. Shut up. I'm kidding. I'll shut up now.
He and Luke had plans for that evening. The nightly dungeon runs had been in a tradition they maintained for 6 months. Luke was a bit difficult to manage when he was playing a damaging role. Herschel played a dedicated healer, and Luke was constantly running into danger and outside of his healing range. He met Luke in a roleplay world. Their friendship had blossomed quickly. The man was young, 22 years old, and with a very, very strange charm. He streamed the MMO game live of all things. And somehow net him a modern. He's a live streamer. He's a live streamer on Twitch. Ain't no way.
Nah. Bro gets donations.
Bro gets donos. Like, oh my gosh, thank you for that dono. And so I net him a modest income, enough to survive. He was gorgeous, incredibly kind. He was funny and always willing to talk, even to a sad old man like.
Oh my god. Why did he
Depressed?
describe him like that?
Why is he always depressed? I'm so...
I think this. Do you think this author just has like a king for depressed Leighton?
Yes, probably, and yes, like most likely.
Yeah, probably. He's been depressed like the past two fics.
Right? Bro is just sad and mope. Like, and all the fics we've read
He's
so
sad and
far from
horny.
the same author. Like, oh my god.
He's sad and horny.
Shut up, that's so. I hate you. Gosh, Jay.
Shut up! You know you love me, Pookie.
Yes, I do. I love you too, Pookie. Anyways,
let's continue.
It was nice to have a friend for once, especially one with the same interest in him and such a beautiful, handsome thing. Interesting.
Yeah. Tell the police that.
Yeah.
Even though he's an adult, that's still weird.
Exactly. Herschel opened up his various programs for the evening, smoothed his hair, taking a deep breath as he began to type. Okay. Luke, wait, Biscuit 27 is me, right?
Yeah.
Luke, are you busy? I have an important question to ask.
Just finishing up dinner, give me a second. Yep. Okay, what do you need?
I have something to send and I'd like you to take it to heart. But because I think it's a...
It sounds quite concerning. Is everything okay?
Yes, I think so. I need a moment to gather myself. Oh, Bro, Rick rolled
Haha, what up for that? You didn't even disguise it?
Guys, what?
You're supposed to disguise a Rickroll when you do it, or the joke doesn't land as well.
What's a Rickroll? I'm not very good at it. Lingo.
You're supposed to do a bait and switch with the Rickroll.
I'm sorry. It's a song I quite enjoy and wanted to share it with you. Did you enjoy it?
It's a pretty good song despite all the memes around it.
Did you get why I sent it?
I don't get it really, sorry.
Well, I wanted to say, we're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A
Of
full
course.
commitment's
It's
what
one.
I'm thinking of.
Oh.
I wouldn't get this one. Okay, go ahead.
Oh. Well, that's a bit of a clumsy way of getting across, but heart emoji. I love you too.
Oh, well, that's a welcome.
Would you like to head out to the restaurant I was talking about tomorrow?
Absolutely. I'm very, very.
See, that was sweet. That was wholesome.
That is sweet. The way Bro told them, though.
He didn't know what it meant. Okay, that was one of the ones I actually liked. I don't support it, but it was kind of cute. I'll give it that.
Yes.
Okay,
I like to read the comments. So the top one is so me.
it's extremely funny and very, very painful to read.
Exactly, bro.
He's just a pathetic, sad old man who lives under a rock.
He is pathetic.
Okay, even though I'm not huge with the ship, this is too funny. How she stop being in a double fool who lives under a rock. Exactly, that's how I feel.
Exactly, bro.
Not only I laughed, I suppose I technically got rickrolled.
He got rickrolled. Broski got rickrolled.
This took some effort to read because it felt like the mental equivalent of stepping on a rake. Same.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you ready to read this last one? I prepared. I got you to read some wholesome stuff because what you're about to read is really fucking concerning. It's not smut, but I would say it's just as bad.
Send it to me.
Okay.
I'll be honest, that rickroll is kind of hilarious. And honestly, Never Gonna Give You Up is actually a good.
It actually it is.
Oh.
I like it. All right, you ready?
See? Right? This is Yes, I am ready.
You ready?
Yes, you can go first.
Okay. This is 4,000 words.
What?
Do you think we can? Do you think we can get through this?
Yes, hopefully. I can hopefully eat some.
I think I should read the notes. Some things to note. This is a fetish fic. Well, yeah, no, duh. It's literally in the tags.
Yes, it is.
Nothing super raunchy here to describe, hence the rating. But Luke is extremely underage and also overweight, and this is treated as a desirable thing in a sexual context. Herschel's presumably that's what I was talking about.
Oh my god.
On potentially triggering topics, though it's not a major Luke focus. Luke does get fat shamed. Oh, poor guy. I feel bad for him. No, my boy. And there's a brief reference to emotional eating, but the latter is only kept to speculation and is ultimately disproven. Opening the door to his room, Luke Triton appears every bit the mayor's son from a well-to-do household that he is. He's dressed in nice clothes, a collared white shirt with buttons, green suspenders clipped to shorts, blonde Mary Jane's polished to shine, and a blue-brimmed hat. He's a sweet face with round rosy cheeks. It's far from the only part of him adorned. Already from the start, remember how I was complaining about how like the first fic we read wasn't like smutty? This is what I expected. It's far from the only part of him adorned with baby fat, and in fact he has a clear excess of it. What has to be his most notable feature is a large tummy that protrudes ahead of him and stretches out his suspenders. Being an only child doted on by loving parents in the Triton's house staff combined with his preference for staying indoors would do that, Herschel supposes. Popcorn Felicity.
Yes. Still, the child's sullen demeanor contrasts gently with his plumpness. Vestiges of the goggle-eyed, cheerful son of a ex he met so long ago. So every now and again his chubby cheeks smile and mention playing outside with his friends. But it is frightfully apparent on how haunted the boy is effectiveness. Well, for his sake, along with the rest of the residents of Mr. Larry,
Miss Halloween, I
Herschel will
think.
get to the bottom of this. Miss Talent. Wait, how do you pronounce it again?
I don't know. I think it's like Miss Halloween. I haven't watched. I haven't like looked at the game that this that town originated in, but it's where Luke was born.
Oh, I see. Miss Talent. Miss Tallowy. Okay. Along with the residents of Miss Tallowy. Herschel will get to the bottom. Okay. You want me to popcorn over to you?
Yeah, sure. It's interesting to see how the townspeople varying. Wait, no. It's interesting to see it's interesting to see how. It's interesting.
We can't leave. We can't leave.
Those two smart pigs ruined us. It's interesting to see the townspeople's varying reactions to Luke. He's known to everyone and must treat him well. Being the mayor's son uniquely situates him, treated politely by adults but with disdain by clerks detractors. His recent seclusion, and his family's social status are common talking points. Up here calls him a pampered little chick, in a not too unfriendly but not too proper way children tended to talk. While Luke has been a helpful tour guide and a source of local insight, very perceptive for his age, his parents educated him well, Herschel notes. His position also allows them to get a better sense for the relationships that influence the attitudes of Miss Hallory. Undoubtedly, that will be important in unraveling the mystery surrounding the spectre. After a good amount of strolling, talking to the townsfolk, and solving puzzles, they decide it's time to eat before returning to hotel. Time to eat before before returning to the hotel room. Popcorn Felicity, because I apparently can't speak English today.
I guess those methods actually and those like for real.
For real, for real.
Let me position to myself in bed because why not? Anyways.
I'm just laying down.
Yeah, I've been laying up. I've been sitting and then now I'm laying. Anyways, okay. More specifically, Luke's stomach does announcing his hunger with a growl. Oh, sorry. I'm a bit hungry. He looks down with a sheepish smile as Emmy laughs. Cheesy cow makes for hungry work. Now that you mention it, I'm quite peckish myself. They like to have dinner.
You want me to explain who Emmy is? Because I don't think she's introduced in like the games that we're playing.
Emmy is I know
Isn't she like Layton's like older assistant? She's like
really?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought she was
She's like Layton's assistant. I thought that's what I read. I might be wrong though.
Yeah, I thought Emmy was the mom of Luke Twitten.
I don't know.
Your mom. I see. Anyways. Comfortable hole in the wall easily in North Ellie.
Yeah. Ellie, I don't know.
Ellie. It is the kind of place Herschel could easily picture himself relaxing in, with a light breakfast, a cup of tea, and a book if he lived. Fortunately for them, Patty's is just as suitable for a hearty dinner. Herschel and his two peckish companions are met with a wonderful feast. Carrot and potato stew, hunks of lamb slathered in mint sauce, and
Mint sauce.
What is mint?
What is mint? I'm gonna Google that real quick. What the hell is mint sauce?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the honors and like Google it for us.
Yes, thank you. I shall pause for now.
It's literally just mint sauce. It's literally just like crushed up mint, but for like lamb.
Well, I never heard of it.
I never heard of that either. I guess we're just not well versed in British food. British.
Interesting taste.
All right.
British. We're just I don't know. We're just Americans, I guess. Okay, no.
we're both Filipino Americans. How do you expect us to know?
Still really. Still I hate myself. I mean, I love myself. I mean, I really do love myself. Wait, no, what am I talking about? Anyways, I love being Filipino. Anyways, I bread fresh from the oven. Yes.
I have to go all the way back. Fuck. Okay. Okay, continue.
Okay. And bread fresh from the oven, along other delicacies, take up the table. Luke keeps pace with his athletic assistant remarkably well, which seems to explain where he got his physique. He's been quietly stuffing himself with everything set before him,
too occupied with his meal to hold a conversation. At the same time, his manners are impeccable. He is neat and precise, ensuring no morsel is wasted, even how quickly he is eating. Not one speck of food, nor a single stain to be seen. It's as if he's trying to feed himself as much as efficiently as possible. Herschel doesn't realize how closely he's paying attention until Emmy lightly nudges his arm with an elbow. What are you doing,
Why is he
Herschel? What are you
watching
doing,
him
Leighton?
eat?
For real. I am traumatized, so everything happening, my disgust is like really internally. So I can't let it out now. Anyways.
You can all let it out once
we're
Okay, you can all let it out when we're done with this fic. We can scream all we
Yes.
want. Yay.
Yes. It's going to get cold if you let it sit there, reminds him, pointing out his plate with the end of an empty fork before jabbing it to another piece of meat. Ah, his mouth forms an appreciative smile. You're right. Never mind me. I was momentarily lost in thought.
Lost in thought about your 13-year-old apprentice.
Exactly. Anyways, Emmy responds to a rich mouthful. In his peripheral vision, he sees Luke raise his head, large, dark eyes sweeping up from under the brim of his hat. The ever-present intensity in his gaze blurred into Herschel as his knife cuts on another bite. But in the end, Luke doesn't say anything, and he keeps on eating. Patty is willing to refill their plates until their appetites are sated. It takes about the same time for the three of them to finish, but only because their pacing and amounts consumed differ. There's a puzzle in this scenario that Herschel thinks he might like to tackle later, probably when Emmy and Luke aren't fighting off a food coma. Emmy leans back into his chair, her satisfied. I'm so full now. I can barely see. The boy let a sigh of content agreement, resting his hand on top of the most swollen part of his belly. Even with size, there's a noticeable difference between what he's full and what he's empty, as his girth stains the buttons. Strains. Herschel figures he might be due to a trip for the tail end in the near future. I'll never get tired of this place, Luke mutters, giving his mouth a few soothing rubs. That's careful, too, how his short, pudgy fingers oh my gosh, what is this expression? Went over to a curvature to counter the sheer quantity of food packed inside it. Yes, that was quite a feast, says the professor. We should think about heading back to the hotel. They chat a bit longer, making it to a stand. Luke hops off his chair, wobbling slightly until he plants his feet. He exhales audibly as he settles into place, and after that, popcorn not to know.
That night, the Spectres attacked us considerable damage, but they have glassed a lead among the waste and rubble. In such of the information about the auctioning of Spectres' flute, the investigation continues at the market. As he's come to know Luke, the professor has noticed that he's particularly conscious about how the others perceive him. It's immediately apparent when they arrive at the entrance to the marketplace when an old lady has set up a candy stand. Aunt Taffy turns up her nose at adults looking to buy her treats, refusing Emmy when she asks before turning to Luke with a jowled grin. But what about you, little boy? Would you like some toffee, fudge, humbugs, pear drops? He had been eyeing the display with interest until that point, but those words did an excellent job dissuading him, now annoyed with the preferential treatment. I'm not a little boy anymore, so thank you. Are you sure? You look like you enjoy a goodie or three. Aunt raises her hand to her mouth with a guffaw. Luke blushes and fidgets with embarrassment. I'm sure I don't need any, he squeaks. Fortunately for Luke, the prodding at his appearance doesn't stop there. The kids working at the marketplace come from less privileged roots, and a few harbor prejudice towards him as a consequence. I feel bad for him.
I do feel bad. Bro's getting bullied. No.
He's getting... I mean, they did mention that there would be, like, fat shaming.
Yeah, it is.
They also speak more frankly than the kids who live in town. A boy selling a pair of trinkets takes offense when Luke Jeeves is wearing John makes it clear what he thinks of the mayor's son. That he's nothing more than a spoiled house cat fluffed up by the master's riches. The insult makes Luke clamp his mouth shut and grab the front of his hat, pulling it over his eyes. I'm gonna investigate over there for a bit. Aww. He stands before walking in the other direction. He's too quick for either of them to do anything but watch him go. Poor Luke, Amy whispers, a frown pulling down the corners of her mouth. Should we follow him? I believe we should give him space for the time being. Let's go in, but keep him in our sights. Thankfully, Luke does not stray far. He can clearly see the young man questioning a street vendor going the whereabouts of the black market. As he stands there, Herschel can also see his train of thoughts into a different direction. His eyes scan the baked offerings, his brother files in mild frustration, and then the moment temptation proves to be too strong, sighing as he digs his pocket for a few crumpled bills. He hands the money over to the man running the stall, points out several items, and receives an announcement of an assortment of sweets for his troubles. Emily is silent for a moment as she watches him inhale a round biscuit, swiftly followed by a cherry jam tart. Professor, you don't think he's been eating his feelings, do you? I'm not sure. It's hard to say, the man responds, putting his arm together. Luke is a wonderful child, but we have not met him in ideal circumstances. Indeed, he didn't remember Clark's boy being so ransom. His old friend had mentioned it, and it had been a long time since he last saw Luke prior to this visit. Suppose he wasn't always like this, and his veracity was a result of Miss Hallaby's current plight. In that case, it'd make Herschel feel terribly guilty for his prying eyes, more than he already does. Then again, there's no concrete evidence for Amy's supposition. There were possibilities enough to keep his attention elsewhere regardless. Well, for the most part, it's a bit difficult to regard his peculiar interests entirely when aspects relating to it keep coming up. Like when there's a conversation at the Triton family's wine cellar where Luke unnecessarily implicates himself in sneaking down to indulge in a class between meals, at which point Herschel has to hold his peace and will himself not to dwell on the mental image.
What?
What?
What is going on?
What's going on? These moments of conspicuous self-awareness are thankfully few and far between. He can't afford too many distractions with the trouble in their midst. Popcorn Felicity!
Okay. The next time Herschel allows himself to consciously think about it after everything's already been resolved with respect to Ayana, the Golden Garden. Due to how things had turned out, he sat down with Clark and his maid to discuss an important matter. His friend is in front of him now, sitting on the couch opposite of Herschel in the parlor. He's bent forward with his fingers interlaced, the pointed ends of his elbows perched on his knees. Herschel, I'm sorry. I need to ask another massive favor of you. What is it, Clark? Could you take Luke under your wing?
He's gonna regret that. He's gonna regret that.
Oh, exactly. Both
He's
gonna get wait, no, both
He's
gonna
She's gonna sexually assault him.
right? Especially the last thing we read for like the past like 24 hours now. Even though this is a different author,
This is a different author, yeah. I'm glad it is, because I cannot stand reading something from that same author.
Right? I'm gonna
After
cry.
the overuse of the word cock and balls.
Cock and I love using cock and balls. Anyways, the professor reacts with surprise, mouth open. You want me to look after him? Quite not. I've given it a lot of thought, and I believe this would be the best thing for him right now. No, it
No,
isn't.
you're gonna regret that.
You know, he's grown very fond of you.
Yes,
Can't stop
definitely.
talking
Just
about
very
solving new
fun.
mysteries and puzzles with you. Yeah, the man smiles with fun. My goodness, I've never seen him so passionate about anything else. As his son speaks, Herschel hears a series of soft thumps in the background before he sees, likely coming from one of the other rooms in the house. He doesn't pay it any mind. Yes, I'm aware of his feelings. Luke has already expressed to me his wish to take him to London. As Luke pleaded with him to become his friend, there was a new light to those pitch-dark peoples that had been there before. It felt like something deep of him, inside of him, had changed at that moment, and yet, Herschel hesitates. Are you sure you're okay with this? Forgive my rudeness, dear friend, but you just got your son back. Are you and Brenda really ready to take part too soon after all that's happened? Brenda and I have talked at length, and we both came to this conclusion in together. Besides, he won't be away from us long. Huh. We plan to move back to London after my current term as mayor ends. However, it will take a while for us to conclude our business. Right then, Clark stands and walks around the rosewood table, placing a hand on Herschel's shoulder. You saved our town and brought and brought spite to my son's eyes. For that, I cannot thank you enough. I think you would be able to teach him more than I ever could. The professor laughed, a rolling, humble sort of sound. Now, don't sell yourself short. You're still his father, and you're still his father in the end. But with your blessing, I'll be overjoyed to have Luke accompany me. He is a delightful young man with a promising future. Not to mention the fact he was incredibly helpful in my investigation. It was a refreshing change to see pride in Clark's face when talking about his son in places of the worry and frustration he'd seen so much in his time at Miss Tallery. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, old chap. I trust you keep him out of harm's way. Clark clapped him on the shoulder. They shared smiles. Oh, and even I'm not sure if this is within your power. If you can, try to rein in Luke's appetite while he's in London. He'll be upset if anyone says it. But we've coddled him terribly. His boss sink as a sheepish chuckle leaves him. He's always had a great love for food, and, well, I don't have anything for you to see the result. This makes Herschel blink and take pause, but then he nods. I'll do what I can. Popcorn, not to know.
Okay, am I the only one who think that like Clark and like Herschel would be like great as like gay men, like a couple? Just for like a little interaction.
For real.
I don't know. I
They
don't know. But that one
would.
interaction, I kind of see it.
Yeah, I kind of see the ship going on.
It's
so cool.
It's really cute. Luke is gonna have two fathers.
For real, though. I mean, yeah, Luke.
I mean, he already looks up to the
Nathan
professor as like a father figure.
Yeah, he always looks up to him, and so is Clark. I don't know much about Professor Layton yet because I'm still playing the first game you showed me. So.
Oh, that wasn't even the first
yeah.
game. That's a sequel to the first game.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
I think the first game was I haven't played the first game actually. I started with the sequel.
Oh,
so I don't.
see.
And that first game is where Flora originates. So I'm gonna play it just so I can see my wifey.
I see. Yes. Go play.
Anyway,
and
let's
see
continue.
see
Let's
your wifey.
continue.
Yes.
Ever since they arrived in London, Luke's mood has been on an upswing. Although he had opened up to Herschel and Emmy considerably by the time of their departure, even now there's an observable difference in their mannerisms. He's smiling and laughing more. He's pounding out the big city sets as they pass by. He's asking various questions to the professor, not Mr. Layton. I still can't unsee how the one author spelled professor.
Professor?
Professor?
Professor!
Professor Layton?
Professor!
Herschel picks up on every one of these things, thinking they would rather suit him, and why wouldn't they? The three of them were rather hopeful of good things to come, and Luke most of all, as this would be a brand new start for Herschel's self-proclaimed apprentice. It's odd that someone as young as him would be so eager to make a mentor of an archaeology professor, but he was no ordinary boy. Yeah, he enables Herschel to groom him.
Exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Either way, he would accept Luke into his life as ready as he accepted Emmy as his assistant. See, Emmy is his assistant. Once he knew her capabilities. To that end, he booked a reservation at a restaurant he thought Luke would enjoy. Balsam Girls is a sumptuous place, and having partaken in a meal or two there in the past, Herschel can attest that the appearances aren't for show in this case. The chefs were high class, the service immaculate, the decor is chic with its dark wood-paneled walls, and seats so comfortable they all but perfectly melted to your form, and the pricing reflected those qualities. He may have also splurged on a VIP room. It was a tad careless of him. He might have saved his money if he'd known that Emmy would be accompanying them that evening. But his budget would forgive him from it. Treating his company with care was his primary concern. Oh, what a gentleman! And tonight it was only proper to make the most of the celebratory dinner. As one of the waitstaff escorted him to the back part of the restaurant, sectioned off with a red velvet curtain and a red rope barrier, Luke piped up, "Wow, this place is so posh. A shame Emmy couldn't join us." He lamented, looking around with wide eyes full of awe. She would have loved to eat here. We'll have a meal with her another time, I promise. Quality time with family is more valuable than any luxury. Luke laughs. Too true. Though she did seem envious of our plans. Oh well, I guess I'll have to enjoy this for the both of us. Herschel clears his throat. Are you hungry, Luke? The boy tugs on the front of his suspended suit. anticipation. The motion sends a subtle ripple through his abdomen. Starving. The waiter leads into a private room akin to a smaller version of a dining area you might find in someone's home. The space would seem too large for a table in the center, if not for the furnishing. They sit in 2 plush armchairs up to the table, which have been set with their menus, round plates, and silver cutlery. Herschel asks for water, and Luke gets a ginger ale, which comes in a bottle. Please ring the bell when you're ready to order, and we'll be right with you. They've informed before being left to their devices. They pick up their menus and begin to read through them. Herschel's fairly quick to decide, while Luke goes back and forth among 4 things that, quote-unquote, look really good. The professor wonders if he's ever going to make up his mind when, after a period of rumination on Luke's part, he asks, "You said earlier that I could have anything I wanted, right, Professor?" "Yes, of course. Money is of no consequence right now, so by all means don't deprive yourself." "All right, then, in that case," Luke... He's gone around the dilemma by ordering every dish he had just mentioned. Afterwards, Silver, who must have an extraordinary talent for keeping such a straight face after hearing such a monstrous order, takes their menus away. Luke taps his fingers on the tablecloth with a huge satisfied smile on his face as Herschel lets out a light chuckle back at him. Good heavens, I wasn't expecting this. It's small, it's not too much, is it? But the first time you said here, yes, it is too much. How long this will stop and have something to do leftovers home? Just do what you wanted, Princess Mary. It's only because that you won't leave them satisfied tonight. Hopefully the food won't take too long to come out. Luke replies, "Do you have any puzzles to pass the time?" It might be a better time than any for a puzzle to occupy Herschel's mind. He formulates one on the spot, but can extend later light source. Once they've gotten to chatting, the time flies away. The appetizer Luke picked out, sausage rolls, soon arrives, and is placed in the middle. Luke offers his share. Herschel eats 2 rolls and gives the boy the remaining 8 plus. He stopped counting for his own conscience. Before long, the waiter returns with more. The rest of Luke's order comes in a savory tray. The rest of Luke's order comes in on a large tray before Herschel's own dish does. The savory smells of meat pie, penne gratin, and lamb chops fill the air. Jesus Christ!
Dang. Luke isn't eating a lot.
The appetizer had evidently done its job. He wraps his arms around the middle as if that would hide his craving. The boy wets his lips. He's trying to make the request alright, but too conspicuous to hide what he wants. "Go ahead and eat," he encourages Luke. "You've done more than enough to earn this." His round face lights up as he grasps his utensils, fists curl around the handles with excitement. "Thank you, Professor." Without hesitating, he gets right to work. The sight of Luke shoveling. Am I that nervous?
Sight.
You are so quiet.
Sight. I don't know. Wait, I don't know if my microphone's been doing right. Sight.
The sight of Luke shoveling food down his gullet is a familiar one. Herschel still remembers a meal at Patty's and the feelings that have cropped up. Ew!
Wait. Oh! It was so subtle. I did not realize that until now.
But unlike then, there was nothing on Herschel's plate to distract him from how the shift in Luke's attitude has made him more open to expressing himself. Even when... Why am I reading this? Even when he takes out his notebook and tries to review the topics for tomorrow's seminar. Huh?
He's doing it right in front of him?
Yeah. It's made all too obvious how much Luke watches his meal and every noise he makes, the cut of his cutlery paired with vocalizations. And he's simply not inhibited enough to limit himself to 1 dish at a time. His cheeks are constantly bulging with something, and he goes from plate to plate to fill them with practice alacrity. What the hell is that? Anyway, his hungry mouth gobbles up a thick layer of meat, cushioned by a flaky crust. He sinks into tender cuts of lamb with gusto. His fork impales as much pasta as it can, as he laps a string of cheese up with his tongue. His lips touch the rim of the cup so he can goldily grim down his ginger ale. His pen has been hovering over the paper for a good 5 minutes now. This is so good. This is so good. So rich.
It's so done.
We've been doing this for nearly an hour and 30 minutes now. With the group sharing the...
Right.
What are we doing with our lives? To the point we're doing this. With the group sharing the entry of patties, it was hard to gauge how much Luke could eat then. At the time, other than that, it was a lot. Herschel has a much more accurate picture now. It's a lot, and apparently it's apparently enough to rival a grown adult's appetite thrice over. Luke has made a decently sized dent into his lavish feast by the time Herschel gets his dinner. Admittedly, the smoked salmon doesn't capture his interest as much as was already in front of him, but he politely thanks the waiter anyway as Luke's glass gets a refill. I would have been interested in that salmon. Give it to me. I love salmon.
I love salmon. Oh my god.
Salmon and rice is delicious. I'll eat your salmon, Herschel.
I love salmon.
Is the food to your satisfaction? The man asks, looking between the boy and the professor, even if it's evident that only one of them has partaken thus far and won't stop partaking and partaking and partaking. Very much so. Herschel answers for them. His throat feels parched, so he takes a sip of lemon-infused water. Please give our sincerest compliments to the chef. As you wish, so. You know what I would be interested in? I would be interested in like a fic, like this fic, but it's played from like the staff's point of view.
Bro, he would be I bet the waiter is kind of weird. Kind of feels weird that Layton's just been staring at Luke for like the past 5 minutes instead of touching his god.
Exactly. The moment he's gone, Herschel sets on his salmon. It's a lovely pink orange hue and has a mild refreshing taste, surely one of the best fillets he's ever had. With delicacies of this caliber, it's no wonder that a boy who's as much gourmand as Luke can lose himself in it. So much that he's already finished off one meat pie as big as his face, and is still sadly working on his other 2 meals. So much so that he's groaning out Oh god. Oh god.
Oh no.
Herschel gaze lifts as he clucks while he puts down his fork and spoon. He's leaned back and is currently struggling with something. The angle makes Herschel notice that his belly is encroached further on the space ahead, squeezed by the straps of his suspenders and waistbands. Luke, concern instantly overshadows everything else he's been experiencing up until this moment. Is something the matter? Fine, it's just Luke's grimaces and stifles a belch. His arms are shifting at each side of his body for a reason Herschel can't figure it out. I'm just realizing what sort of noise I made there.
No! Don't send me back to the smut. Don't send me back to the smut.
You have a stomach ache? If it's hurting you, you don't have to. He pants several times, arms moving until he sees what he's been trying to do. The lower part of his stomach squishes against the pants. He lifts it up and shut the tummy into his lap.
Oh my god.
Along with the hem of his previously tucked-in shirt. It overflows and rests heavily on his thighs, wobbling as his chest heaves. Much better. He rolls in relief. Now I can... Luke locks eyes on him, the apples of his cheeks glowing red as he registers that he's being stared at. Wait. Jesus Christ, it keeps going!
I hate this.
I hate this so much. Why did I read these? Herschel feels like he should say something. This is completely improper behavior for a young gentleman, and he shouldn't be enabling it. That's what I'm saying. We have 5 minutes left. I'm gonna speed run through this. Unfortunately, it's hard to think of something when Luke has directed his attention lower. Herschel takes his glass and drinks it again. It does little to prevent the heat from spreading onto his coat. He's getting off to this. Still terribly famished is all you can manage. Oh yes, I can't get enough. This restaurant was an excellent choice. By the time Herschel got something more appropriate for the situation, the moments passed and looked as though he was empty eating. The lamb chops and next plate down the bones had practically been cooked clean that they'd been offered to a dog rather than a boy too ravenous for his own good. His paunch is looking decidedly rotund by that point, close to how he was after the first time Herschel saw him gorge. Luke merely muffles another overstuffed bourbon in his hand twice, actually, and gives it belly a few... Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna continue speed running through this. As he has the last few bites, Herschel has found that he's run out of water and salmon despite not getting to the end of either. He can't tell whether the centers from pain or pleasure. Luke's jaw slowly works. It might be both. Eventually, he swallows that last bit with a robust sigh that eventually turns into a low belch. Wait, Professor.
What is going on?
Every moment of his is like that of a small giant. Eyes glaze over, hands tracing circles with left hand to the swelling gut, and overhanging spine with sides like an avalanche of flesh. He looks enormous, and so he has the audacity to burst out. Professor, can I have dessert? No, what on earth is he doing? Letting blow up like a balloon was the exact opposite of what Clark had asked of him. Hojo shakes his head. This has gone on for far too long. I apologize, but anyone can see that you have had more than enough. He speaks in spite of how short he breath. A gentleman knows how to take good things in moderation. I've been motivating myself all night, please. As if on cue, Luke Summer grumbled, and he something sweet like Kicker, but just one more thing he lets out the belch to top things off. Mind your manners, please. Sorry, excuse me. You're clearly very full. I think of asking for more. I'm full, he grunts, but I've never eaten a place so good before. I can't find anything like this in Miss Hallory. That being as it may, know very well you shouldn't open the door to extend us. Okay, have you? Look, I overheard your conversation with my father. That you did. Show us not surprised at all. After all, you heard the little boy then, his little steps coming to a sudden halt outside the parlor. Parlor.
Dang.
So you should know he wouldn't approve of this. Luke peels down his flabby middle with a half-little gaze. When he hears it churning again, he says like he's everything. Ah! When he hears it churning again, with everything he's consumed, he's pat the surfaces like he's trying to quiet it down. I know I'm much than average, but I'm always hungry and I'm used to being this way. Actually, I think this Luke suits me most of all. Herschel can't bring himself to disagree with that remark. I don't want you to make yourself sick, dear boy. Luke frowns. I'm positive I'll be fine. In any case, I'm not coddled. I just like food a whole lot, and I won't get eat until I'm sick. Is that so? He said resentful. Besides, don't you enjoy seeing me have my fill? Ah! As those deep dark eyes bore into him, Herschel goes to beg your pardon, no one's ever let me eat this much in front of them, but I've seen you looking at me before, so he really was an observant child. The professor's face very quickly becomes awash with a sea of crimson red worms when he uses the brim of his hat to try and hide it. I won't lie to you, you have a way of captivating me with your habits at the table. And that's why my appetite is legendary, Luke breathes heavily, saying that much has wounded him. Even if all he's done is sit there, just one more, please. But I'm not sure if there should be one more. You look fit to burst. I know, he whines in a slight other whine this time, reaching for the plainest palms on the table and lean forward and pinches of it. His bully smushes against the round edge. I shouldn't, but I want to eat. I can't resist the thought of something sweet right now. I'm just that much of a glutton, I suppose. Compared with levels of shame and desire radiate off of them in ways. It feels entirely too hot in this room. It feels hot in my room. And Herschel has a temptation to excuse himself to the lavatory. If he had a moment to clear his head, it might help. But it wouldn't solve the problem sitting right across, begging to glut himself imminently. And try as he might, Herschel can't deny his burning interest in seeing that happen. Against his better judgment, he can't muster the conviction to tell him no. Releasing his whim, the professor relents. Very well, my boy. Inwardly, he apologizes to the clerk as he rings the bell. What the fuck? What the fuck?
For real. Damn.
We finished in the brink of time. We have to leave soon, right?
Yeah, but wait. I'm gonna comment on this.
You are?
Well, you were spitting bars.
No, what are you gonna comment? I have to know.
Bro. You were speed running, bro. The way you went through the lines, it was like you were rapping so hard. It makes me want to laugh.
Natsuno was a rapper when?
Natsuno rapper real canon. Anyways, I did not know how subtle his fetish is until I realized, oh wait, he has a fetish.
Exactly.
Like, I was wondering, oh wait, where is the fetish? And I was like, oh, there's the fetish. I was like,
that was still better. I don't know. I feel like that's like on par with like the smut we read.
It did, but it's like kind of a bit.
It's so subtle, but I think that's what makes it bad.
Exactly, bro. Like, you don't know what Leighton's mind is going through right now, or something.
Yeah.
But you could hint, like, the words hint of what he's actually like imagining, Yeah. Because of how he describes Luke.
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy, bro.
Well, anyway, I have some more fic. I have like a really long fic for you, but we're not gonna read it today. We're probably gonna read it later, if anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you have fun at that party, and I'll talk to you soon. Maybe.
Thank you. I will talk to you soon too.
All right, bye-bye, Pooks. Love you.
Goodbye. I'm traumatized. I love you too. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.